Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Night Live. Today is Sunday, May 10th, and we're talking about what's happening in the labor market, job searching, hiring, AI, and what's all that means, what everything means, trying to find work and make a career change in this modern day. I'm Mark Anthony Jackson, talent client coordinator here at Guhuza, and tonight I'm joined by Iain, who works at Guhuza currently as a tester. Iain, want to do a little introduction of yourself? How are you?
Sure. Thanks for having me. My name's Iain Mcloughlin. I'm an intern at Guhuza through Trials College, and it's been a really interesting time doing my internship. I started as a front-end quality assurance tester, and I do administrative assistant work now, and they made me lead of the testing team, which is really cool. So yeah, no, it's been a great ride actually.
Ian comes on and he brings kind of a different perspective because he's not coming only from the recruiting side of things like Mark Belish would when we come talking back and forth, but he's also coming from a personal perspective, from the job market, from a career change, Ian, right? You're changing careers.
Oh yeah, no, I was construction for 18 years doing installation, residential installation. So I'm going from that to an IT professional role, or administrative role, either or, so that's a big change regardless of which direction I go.
There we go. So in the absence of Mark B, Ian's gonna be here tonight as our guest, and let's keep it real. Let's talk and see what job seekers are actually facing in the market. Thanks for being on, Ian.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start by talking about the labor market. I know Mark B and I may have talked about this previously as well, but in Canada, employment was a little changed in April, down about 18,000 jobs, and unemployment rate rose from 6.9%. Full-time employment fell by about 47,000, while part-time employment increased by 29,000. So youth unemployment
Ouch.
also rose 14.3%, which is still much higher than the pre-pandemic average.
That is staggering.
It is staggering, but we like to say because at the end of the day, the job market is still not frozen, right, Ian?
No,
It
no,
doesn't
it's
seem
not.
frozen. It's
No,
being cautious.
exactly.
And when
That's
the
all.
market feels cautious, the people feel it too. Like anyone
That's it.
looking, anyone applying, it's something you hear a lot.
The employer and job seeker side, it's all about strategy now, you know what I mean? Trying to find different ways around and beat systems and AIs and stuff like that. So,
And sometimes it could kind of feel personal, can't it? I don't know from your perspective, but sometimes it's kind of personal. And from a career change side of things, how does this slowing confidence affect you and your confidence in the market?
um, it has slowed my confidence to an extent, but being where I am in the company I'm with, I've realized that there's a lot more avenues than just the regular job board as well. So I don't feel as nervous and anxious, I guess you can say, about the job market and where I fit in.
Hmm.
I know it's kind of a slow market, you know what I mean? It really does kick the confidence and you're trying to figure out where you fit in, but I don't think I have that much to worry about seeing how I'm kind of going in the side of AI.
It kind of feels like candidates have to be more intentional, and that's what you're showing, like what you're doing right now as well. You're being more intentional with what you could bring to the table for any future
Definitely.
job as well. Yeah. And your experience connects to that. So good job, Ian.
Thank
So
you.
the takeaways would be job seekers should not assume silence means that they're not qualified. In this market, clarity, following up, being visible, as Ian and I talk about on our
Oh,
Thursday all the time.
that's it.
Um,
Visibility.
and being able to explain your transferable skills matter even more now. And that's true.
Showing your worth.
And
That's what your skills are, is your worth, right?
exactly.
That's what makes it your brand.
One thing I really want to focus on tonight is also the career change side of things, Ian. A lot of people have years of work experience, personal experience, and real skills, but when they try to move into a new field, they can feel like they're starting all over again, right? And that's a
Definitely.
frustrating thing because you have communication skills, problem solving, reliability, customer service. technical, leadership, but your resume might not match the exact job title an employer is looking for, and you may get overlooked. So my
Exactly.
question to you, Ian, would be, what do you think is one of the hardest parts of trying to show an employer that your past experience still matters, even if it came from a different field or a different part of your life, you know? What have you
I
gained and
think
what have you
that
learned about that too?
I think the hardest part is getting employers to see the connection. Like you know you can do the work, but the resume may not tell the full story.
That's a fair point. That's a pretty good point. And that's exactly why career changers need to be able to translate their experience, for the employer. Don't just list what you did, explain how it connects to the job that you want. So, for example, Ian, what are you looking to get into after this?
Uh, I'm looking to get into more of the technology field. Um, I am starting to get a real big liking to this administrative role. Um, so it's I'm torn. I'm torn at the same time. Um, but at the moment, I'm still leaning towards the technical side of things. So the IT
Okay.
professional side.
So it's all about, putting in your resume, how it connects to how your past experience still connects to the technical side, the IT side, or the admin side as well, and what
Exactly.
those skills could be. So that's really the main takeaway. So career changers should focus on transferable skills and proof. Employers should be more open to candidates who may not seem like the perfect title match, but clearly have the ability to learn, adapt, and contribute. And Ian, you're one of the people that I can see can definitely learn, adapt, and contribute to any environment you get into.
Yeah, that it's
So I
all
want to
about trying to
compliment
be
you
a
on that.
sponge. I love being a sponge and just taking it all in and
There
just
you go.
showing that I can manage and
You're
adapt.
very good at that. You're very good at
Mm,
that.
mm.
Guhuza, hey, you've been doing perfect.
I don't like the word no. I told you that.
Another big issue is entry level hiring. In Canada, youth unemployment rose to 14.3% in April, and that tells us younger workers and people trying to get started are facing real difficulty in the market right now. And this is something a lot of people are seeing through family friends, their family members, people close to
Oh,
them. Entry level candidates are being asked for experience before they even have a chance to get experience, right?
exactly.
And you may have seen this through people close to you or people trying to get started, but what have you seen, Ian, from an entry level struggle to get into roles? What are you seeing?
I think it's the feeling of needing experience to get experience.
Hmm.
So people want to work and learn, but they can't always find that first chance. Like they can't always get their foot in the door.
Hmm. And that seems to be the problem that we're seeing again and again too. Because if every entry level role asked for experience, software knowledge, certificates, industry exposure, that's not totally entry level anymore, right? You find something it's not doesn't
No,
scream entry
it's
level.
not. No,
Someone
it
looking to do an
doesn't feel like it
internship
anyway.
shouldn't need like five different qualifications on top of that internship.
No, especially when they're coming right out of school.
Exactly. And at the same time, job seekers still have to find ways to show effort in their application.
Yeah.
That could be projects, volunteer work, internships, testing experience, certifications, or even examples of how they've solved problems before.
Yep.
There are many different things you could put on your resume. Projects is a great one to the projects and internships. Those are great to show that you're willing and you're learning about the industry that you want to get into. So the takeaway there is that entry level job seekers need proof of their effort, not just the resume. Employers also need to be careful not to make entry level roles unrealistic, right? So one last topic I want to get into here is AI. And that is another major topic because it helps job seekers write resumes, cover letters, and their LinkedIn profiles, but it's just making hiring more noisier. Robert Half recently reported that AI generated resumes are creating challenges for hiring managers, and in their research, also says AI is changing how companies evaluate skills, right? So employers are placing more emphasis on things like critical thinking, adaptability, creativity, judgment, and communication. So, from your perspective, Ian, does AI make the job search easier or does it make everything feel more confusing?
It can help, I feel, but it can tend to make everything sound the same. Um, Too many people using AI just makes the resume look too polished. It may not be as personable, as real, as genuine.
I agree, and that's exactly it, really, because AI can help organize your thoughts, but it really cannot replace your actual experience getting down to it.
Exactly.
If you put something in your resume, you need to know and be ready to explain it in a conversation. And if AI keeps generating your resume, what really are you, what really are you putting down?
Right.
So the key takeaway there is that AI is just a tool and not your whole job search strategy. Your resume should still sound like you, and you should be ready to explain your skills, projects, and achievements at all times. So getting down into it for the last two things we're going to get into here, um, this is why we think live conversation still matters even more. When resumes
Exactly.
start looking similar, the interview becomes the place where people can actually show who they are.
It's that real person connection.
And that's exactly why Guhuza focuses on live interviews. The goal is not just to have resumes sitting in a database. The goal is to help people move closer and forward into real conversations when they're matched with a role. As someone who tests Guhuza and the platform from a user perspective, what do you think matters most for job seekers using the hiring technology?
I think clarity matters. People want to know what's happening, what they should expect, whether there's actually another person on the other side, if they're talking to a machine or if there's actually an actual connection can happen.
Technology should be reducing confusion, not creating more of it, you know? Job seekers already deal with so much silence, and hiring technology should be clearer and more human, you know?
Yeah.
The key takeaway there is that hiring should help create faster, clearer, more human connections, and it should not make the candidates feel like they're more invisible. And that's our hope with Gahuza as well. So be sure to sign up if you haven't already. Before we wrap up, I also want to remind everyone that Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we host the weekly job search walkthrough and Q&A on LinkedIn Live. We were on LinkedIn Live last week. We're going to try that again next week, the week coming. And we're also going to try to host a Zoom session as well to
So
kind
it's
of
going to be
sync
like a
everything up.
hybrid model.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We still want the conversation, and I feel like LinkedIn
We
Live did
still want
help
that
us.
connection, right? Yeah.
Exactly. It's open to job seekers, recruiters, employers, students, and anyone who wants to get a better understanding of the job market. We talk about resumes, interviews, hiring trends, job search challenges, and what people are actually experiencing. You could tune in live on LinkedIn, ask questions, or be a part of the conversation on Zoom.
Those
Um,
conversations are useful.
those
People
conversations.
people actually want to hear what others are struggling with, not just what the headlines say,
So
right?
exactly. So Ian, as I say, join us on Thursdays at 2 p.m. And experience it. So to wrap up, the labor market is cautious, entry-level candidates are under pressure, career changers are trying to prove how their experience transfers, and AI is changing how people apply and how employers evaluate talent. But the main point is people are more than resumes. They have experience, potential, transferable skills, and stories that don't always fit neatly into an application form. Ian, any final thoughts from you? On what you could say?
I would say for one, network, keep building proof, keep learning, be a sponge, absorb it all, but show your worth as well. Don't let silence convince you have nothing left to offer. Like,
That-
just don't be quiet.
That's a beautiful way to end, Ian. So thank you again to Ian for joining me tonight. If you found this helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to join us on the Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, live on LinkedIn and on Zoom, for the weekly job search walkthrough and Q&A. I'm going to leave the link in the description in the comments. So be sure to join us there. And thank you, everyone. We will be sure to have you next Sunday night live. Have a great one.
You